Someone not fit to run a WhatsApp group should not accidentally become Nigerian president in 2023. Sowore, welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post hot juicy news update. Please click on the notification bell. He said the Nigerian government has no business with the building code and its bid to regulate the sector. The presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, has described the decision to have a uniform national building code for the entire country as an anathema. He said the Nigerian government has no business with the building code in its bid to regulate the sector. Sowore, who stated this while addressing participants at the 62nd Annual General Meeting AGM of the Nigerian Institute of Architects (NIA), hinged this position on the fact that there is a difference in the way buildings are constructed across the country. I lived in the US for 20 years. You cannot dig a hole in front of a house without a permit from a local government. What is the federal government doing with the building code? Because the way you build your houses in the Niger Delta is different from the way you build in Kano. So let the local government handle the building code, someone said. There have been many cases of building collapse in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Sowore, who talked about issues affecting architects, especially as it relates to the implementation of designs, blamed corruption and the fact that incompetent builders are often brought in to implement the design of architects as the leading cause of building collapses in Nigeria. As we discuss here about your work, it is nagging and most lamentations that a country of your dream that you have always wanted to build, you have not been able to build it. And those of you who try to build something in Nigeria, when you look back at those structures you designed, because of bad leaders, bad maintenance, culture, and corruption, you might even be forced to deny that you are the one who participated in building those structures. How do you design a building which is the work of an architect, and when it is time for it to be given out for construction, the worst builder is contracted to do it? Just like our refineries, we had 4 refineries, and when they wanted to start destroying it, they were using vulcanizers to repair refineries. And then you're wondering why you don't have refineries? It is the same thing that happened to those of you who are in this profession, that you have designed and done your best for Nigeria to become El Dorado. But the Nigeria of today that you have is not one you designed, Sowore said. Sowore urged the participants to be inspired by the fact that some of the greatest builders in the world, Nigerians, have participated in building them, have participated in designing them. Even though bad leadership has meant they cannot do that in Nigeria, a problem, he said, will need a different approach in solving from what is currently being done. If you are going to build or rebuild Nigeria, first and foremost, you need architects. Before we start dealing with builders, real estate people, and then politicians. The problem is that we are building Nigeria not with architects, but with politicians. And that is why you see the country the way it is today, he said. On the immigration of professionals, he said, every other country that is developing rapidly in the world really wants Nigerians to come to that country. But every other leader that has been running Nigeria, including the ones now, does not want Nigerians to be in Nigeria anymore. The reason I say so is that you cannot have professionals that do not give advice, or when they give advice, you don't accept them and you want your country to be okay. Also, he parroted the rationale behind the appointment. The Minister for State is a lawyer. Is it possible that there is no doctor enough in Nigeria to be Minister of State for Health? The Minister of State for Health is a lawyer. Is it possible that there is no doctor enough in Nigeria to be Minister of State for Health or a pharmacist? Somebody asked. He added, I'll be surprised to find out that our Minister of Housing, if there is still a Ministry of Housing, is an architect. He's a lawyer. That shows to you that the President of Nigeria is also not a professional who should be handling any country in the world. And we are getting to that point where we must decide that people who are not fit, particularly in this coming election, someone who is not fit to run a WhatsApp group is not accidentally made the president of Nigeria in 2023. Sowore, you hit it on the spot on. Spot on. Sincerely, you hit this one. I'm not gonna lie, you really hit this one. You really did. And this is why we need like minds like Sowore. Look, there's a particular woman that came out. I think the wife of the former, should I say, former, how do I put it? This late Nnamdi Azikiwe, I don't even know before I go speak tomorrow times. The wife of the late Nnamdi Azikiwe came out and said, look, if you're not even going to vote for Labour Party, that why people are screaming, oh, Labour Party, most especially not even Labour Party, P2B, is because they feel he's competent. Now, if you're not going to vote for Labour Party because of your choice, you have your choice. Please make sure that you pick, just like I've been saying, that you pick someone who is intellectually, mentally, physically, this person is all round good. And of course, that person, if you bring him in, let the person be intellectually okay. So that's just like he said, in Minister of Finance, you get to put somebody who is who knows the onions in his job, who knows his job very well. Like in a hospital now, it's just like in surgery department, the chief of surgery, you now carry somebody who is an orthopedic person, or you put somebody who is not even a surgeon there. That particular department will collapse. The same way, you need somebody who knows the onions in the job. It's the same way Nigeria needs a president that is the right person for the job. So Sowore, this one, you hit him for head. Whether I would like it or not, Sowore is intellectually and physically sound, unlike some bats and tickles. He has what it takes, but those vultures and ants out there will certainly run him down. It is true, but maturity and restraint is an indispensable leadership quality. But he should have teamed up with Obi if future overzealousness is not affecting him. Okay. Forget the revolutionary tendencies. The man is the second candidate on my list for the presidential election after Obi. I will pay a fortune to know whom he's referring to. Eh? You want me to call a name? You will pay a fortune call? Okay. Don't worry. Obi will bring you in when he wins, but also learn how to guard your words and know whom to tackle at a time. Okay, all day ahead, just support Obi that so that we can take our country back. These people. No, but Obiele Sowore really hit it. It is because we don't put people in the, just like I said, chief of surgery. You carry somebody, maybe pharmacist go put for chief of surgery. What's be the relationship? Just like in a Minister of Finance, it will surprise you gone that the person did not even study finance. He did not study finance. He did not study economics. What's the person find here? It will surprise you to know in the Minister of, just like a Minister of Health, you now hear that the person studied banking and finance. What will the person be doing? The person will not be able to relate. You need to put somebody in a position just like you can say any head of department. Do you get to bring somebody from outside? No, you bring the person that knows the job. That is why companies, I keep saying it, if we use the models many companies and organizations used to run their company, I think Nigeria will be better. Because you don't put somebody that is not related in a particular department. Those are called head of operations. You put people who they know their onions very well as the head, right, of that particular department. Do you go and bring somebody outside and put? No. If you bring it, it will collapse. Do you understand? All right, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you.